Have you ever found yourself just staring at a blank screen, feeling this massive wave of overwhelm wash over you? You know exactly what you need to do, but out of nowhere, you're suddenly reorganizing your sock drawer. It's crazy, right? Well, welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack the hidden psychology behind overcoming procrastination. Because what if I told you the biggest obstacle between you and your goals isn't a lack of talent, and it's definitely not a lack of time? What if it's literally just a tiny 5-minute window of discomfort? Seriously, think about this for a second. What if procrastination actually isn't laziness? We carry around so much heavy guilt when we avoid our work. We slap these labels on ourselves, right? I'm lazy, I'm undisciplined. And it just creates this awful, draining cycle of shame. We actually start to wonder if there's some fundamental flaw in our character. But let's just pause and suspend that judgment for a minute. What if that horrible feeling of being stuck isn't a moral failing at all? What if it's actually a deeply ingrained scientific reflex? Here's the fascinating reality. Your brain is biologically wired to protect you from discomfort. Think back to our evolutionary roots. We survived in harsh environments where conserving energy was literally a matter of life and death. So when you think about tackling a massive project, a grueling workout, or, filing your taxes, your brain instantly goes on high alert. It tricks you into procrastinating because to your ancient brain, that's a feature, not a bug. It's trying to save your energy. So hear this, you are not broken. Your brain is just doing its ancient job of protecting you from perceived hardship. Psychologists actually have a name for this. It's called task aversion. When you look at a gigantic goal, like studying for finals or building a business from scratch, your brain completely ignores the reward. It doesn't care about the fancy diploma or the thriving business at the finish line. All it sees is the friction. It zeroes in on that massive mountain of effort, and it actually triggers a minor biological fight or flight response. So that endless scrolling you do on your phone, it's not laziness. It's literally an emotional coping mechanism to soothe your brain's sudden panic. So how do we fix this? Well, we have to completely change the stakes. The old mindset involves standing at the bottom of a massive mountain of effort, staring up and absolutely paralyzing ourselves with the need for perfection. The new mindset? You focus on just 5 minutes and you give yourself total, guilt-free permission to quit right after. Do you feel how the pressure immediately just drops? You aren't writing an entire novel today. You are simply typing for 5 minutes. The relief is instant, and it completely bypasses that intense performance anxiety. Section 2, the 5-minute loophole. Here's how this loophole works in 3 super simple steps. Step 1, pick that task you've been avoiding. Step 2, tell yourself you're going to work on it for exactly 5 minutes. Literally set a timer on your phone if it helps. And step 3, this is absolutely crucial. Once that timer goes off, you have full permission to quit. Believing this is key because it creates an incredibly low barrier to entry. You're basically tricking your brain's alarm system by whispering, hey, relax, we aren't burning a ton of energy today, just 5 minutes worth. It makes you feel completely safe rather than judged or pressured. Now, you might be wondering, why does this ridiculously simple loophole actually work? I mean, it's fair to ask. Okay, that's great for starting, but if I literally just quit after 5 minutes, how on earth am I ever going to finish my big projects? How does a tiny 5-minute window actually translate into, say, cleaning the entire house? It feels almost too good to be true, right? Well, there is a fascinating piece of cognitive science that kicks in right at minute 6. Enter the brilliant, pioneering psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik. She discovered something truly incredible about how we're wired. The human brain absolutely hates unfinished business. It's a phenomenon known as the Zeigarnik Effect. You know, when you get a catchy song stuck in your head and literally the only way to get it out is to listen to the very end of the track? That is the Zeigarnik Effect in action. Once you actually start a task, even if it's just for 5 minutes, your brain experiences this gentle subconscious tension. It desperately wants to see it through to completion. So it naturally clears away the friction for you the second you cross the starting line. And this leads us to a wildly empowering realization. The absolute hardest part of any goal isn't doing the actual work. It is simply surviving those first 5 minutes. That initial tiny window is where all the panic, all the friction, and all the task aversion live. But once you clear that 5-minute hurdle, natural momentum completely takes over. You're already sitting at your desk. The document is already open. Continuing suddenly becomes so much easier than stopping. Section 3, Identity and Momentum. You see, the 5-minute rule isn't just some cheap, short-term productivity hack. This is a profound, long-term tool for rewiring your self-perception. When you apply this rule consistently, something absolutely incredible happens to your identity. Every single time you honor that tiny 5-minute commitment, you are proving to your subconscious mind that you are a person of action. You slowly chip away at and destroy that lazy label, and you start building massive self-trust. You learn that you can actually rely on yourself to do exactly what you say you're going to do, and that creates a true snowball effect of confidence. This all builds up to the biggest, most game-changing realization of this entire explainer. We have been sold a massive myth about human drive. The myth is that you need to feel motivated before you can take action. We sit around all day waiting for inspiration to strike, waiting for the perfect mood to just magically arrive. But the reality? The reality is the exact opposite. You just need to start taking action to feel motivated. The feeling always follows the behavior. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Just think about how incredibly freeing that is. You don't need to be in the mood to do your work anymore. You don't need to wait for a sudden burst of inspiration to clean your kitchen or tackle that intimidating spreadsheet. You are completely empowered to manufacture your own motivation, literally out of thin air, just by taking 5 tiny minutes of action. You don't need to feel like doing it to start. You just need to start to feel like doing it. So I want to leave you with a challenge today. Take a look at your own life. What is the one task you've been actively avoiding? What's that one heavy thing hanging over your head right now? Listen to me. Don't worry about finishing it. Don't worry about it being perfect. Just give it 5 minutes today. Set a timer, start the clock, and give yourself full, unapologetic permission to walk away when it rings. I guarantee you'll be completely surprised by what happens at minute 6. A fully transformed identity is literally just 5 minutes away. Thank you so much for